Hi, I'm Megan McKeefrey. I'm here in Canton, North Carolina today with Wayne Carson. We are at the Canton Historical Museum. He's a worker here. Hi Wayne, how are you?
All right, Miss Megan.
Could you tell me a little bit about what kind of activities you participate in here with the museum and as a former mill worker?
Activities. Okay, I work here. They consider it part-time, but I'm the only one here, keeping the museum open and the history of the town and county, and it has a lot to do with our mill here. That's been here about 102 years now. But also, I am leader or president of the Snug Harbor Retirement Group from the mill. And then I also am a pastor of a Baptist church here in Haywood County, so I'm quite busy and don't have time for very much.
How long have you lived in this community?
Well, for 71 years. I'm 1939 model, and I live out of town about 10 miles, but still, this is our town, my town.
So throughout your time in the community, have you noticed change in the job market, manufacturing, throughout all the years?
Oh, yes. Actually, I went to work in the mill in 1959, and lower wages, before union, and so on. Good wages to be here in the mountains, good job. But as the market changed everywhere, well, notice there's a lot of foreign interference with really what we make here at the mill. Not knowing the worldwide markets, but there is a difference.
Could you tell me what it means to you to have a good manufacturing job?
Well, number one, good wages, and then I'm a family man, been able to raise my kids and provide for them. Now I've got grandkids and even a couple of great-grandkids, so that puts me on down the line. But such a good atmosphere to have job security, you know, and not have to worry about are they going to shut down or what's going to happen, which this day and time we don't know, but hoping we can work better.
Okay. What does this paper mill bring to the community of Canton?
Well, I would say number one, security, and then they've had a good medical program, other programs, and this mill here in our town has always been community minded. Maybe a little bit more in the older days, but still it never shut off the town people or schools, or it's always community involved. More or less the mill wasn't built to support the town, but it's been such a help for so many years.
Yeah. With the current economic conditions going on, would you see a devastation in the community if we had any job losses at this mill?
A great devastation. We've been fighting the river situation here for several years, but they're doing all they can. I understand they've recently had another permit approved, and they're going over it, so that threatened. And then now, as the economy is today, many places, even paper manufacturing and larger companies, is shutting down, and that would sure make a difference if they lose this market and security here in Canton, North Carolina.
And I was talking to you earlier, you said you don't necessarily have family that works the mill right now, but most people in the community either have neighbors or family or friends that all work at that mill. Is that correct?
Yes, and I have brother-in-laws and some nephews, nieces, but none of my immediate family. They just chose not to be in this type of work. So mill work's not for everybody.
Yeah. What would you predict would happen to the community if the mill shut down, as far as the tax base goes, or the school system, the police, and fire?
It would affect everything, as you know. What is this? 2010, June the 7th, it affected everything drastically because we are in the hard times now, but if I just quote added, don't put this as a fact, but I'm believing our towns, 30% of their budget is from the tax from the mill here. Besides, even town officials, some of them works at the mill, you know, where they're part-time town officials. And it would really affect, for a small mountain town, that's an old town anyway, it'd really be a ghost town.
Have you noticed any changes over the years, especially with our economy the way it is, as far as local donations to nonprofit groups?
Yes.
Perhaps food pantries or parishes even?
A lot of that from the good wages has come through the employees. We've had a Christmas basket fund here since the late 20s, still going on every year. Names is turned in for people that's in need, especially Christmas time. And you have things like that. Disasters, always volunteer folks here, but through their good wages and being able to, you know, take up money, it's just been a great community type thing.
Now you're also the president of the Snug Harbor Retiree Group.
Yes, ma'am.
And what kind of services do you guys do in the community?
Well, we meet together, as most of them's older than me, and enjoy fellowship and old times and what's going on in the town. We go through that about every week because you've got people it's town and what's going on in the mill and, you know, like barbershop in a way. We go to the barbershop and learn a lot of things, but we have many good things, and we give then at Christmas time for the special, you know, needs of the community, little projects, and help the senior citizens out in a local county project also.
And do you guys participate in the parades?
Yes, Labor Day parade and the Christmas parade, which is really a big thing here in this town.
Yeah.
Labor Day parade's over 100 years old, been going on.
Do you know how many people reside in this town?
Actual city limits is about, I'm quoting by memory, about 31 or 3,200.
And how many people work at the mill?
About 1,200.
Wow.
We've got, our next plan is about 10 miles from here. We haul paper, board off the board machine to Waynesville plant, and there's about 200 plus works there. They coat it, so it'll be food carton.
Where else in the community do people work besides the mill?
Some works in Nashville and other industries. You also got local, not too many here in this county, Haywood County. A few smaller manufacturers, nothing, no more than 100, 150 employees. But they do other things as far as eating places, restaurants, stores, Walmart, Kmart, here in the county. Your food stores, several of them.
Yeah.
And then you got your folks that does construction work. Lots of farms in this area.
What do you think needs to happen in your community or in the country to save jobs and keep this mill running, being successful like it is?
Well, knowing somewhat about this, even before talking to you, the export is, well, I say import is what's really hurting, you know, our industry, which other industries too. Thank goodness for, I'm not selling Ford Motor Company, but they've kept their cars going.
Have you had the power to speak to those who are going to make the final decision in this trade case?
Not really.
What would you ask of them to consider?